Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, March 12th, and I am your morning witch. You know, Tuesdays definitely make me think of divination, specifically tarot. I started doing tarot like on the regular because of a local group at the time, no longer in existence, called Tea and Tarot Tuesdays. So let's talk some tarot today. You know, for those who don't know, there's multiple different kinds of tarot out there, but of the 95% at least of the tarot decks that you can find are based on, oh my god, the word just slipped out of my head. Ryder Waite. They're based on Ryder Waite. I don't know why the fuck that just flopped out of my head. So anyway, most of the decks that we see on the shelves or on the internet, they're Ryder Waite based tarot theory. Now, some people hear Ryder Waite and they think of the art. And yeah, there is specific Ryder Waite artwork, but 95% of the decks out there, no matter what their artwork or their theme, like whether it's Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, The Last Unicorn, Over the Garden Wall, they're based on the Ryder Waite setup with the 21 major arcana and the 4 suits of minor arcana. Now, I say all this to lead into the fact that, because it is a fact that these Ryder Waite based decks, their books are going to look different. The words used are gonna look different. The art on the cards gonna look different. Some will hold the same main theme, such as the Eight of Swords is usually an individual who is blindfolded and on a path that is lined with 8 swords on either side, like 4 on this side, 4 on this side. And the card meaning is you have to stay the course, because if you stray from your course, you're gonna get cut. You have to go through it blindly, because whether or not you know the outcome, you have to go. A lot of us refer to it as the damned if you do, damned if you don't card. The longer you stay in the position, the worse it's gonna get. You're gonna get cut on your way out, no matter what. And I use the term most because not all of them are gonna have the same art, and the books are going to vary widely, and that's the point of this video. I would like everybody who indulges in tarot in any way just to understand the concept that the book for this tarot deck and the book for this tarot deck, when they're both based on Ryder Waite tarot, no matter what the writer, W-R-I-T-E-R, whatever the writer of that book that goes with that tarot deck, no matter what they put down in their book, that's just their words based on their interpretation of what this card is. It's not that this deck is different from this deck, because if the 4 of Swords is pulled in both decks, it means the same fucking thing. And it just, like, I see a lot of people that are like, oh, well, this book for this deck says this about this card. And I get that for you, you want it to be that specific energy because that's what you're familiar with. But let's broaden our horizons and understand that a specific individual wrote that book and they put their own thoughts about what that card is into that book. But the card with that energy, that doesn't fluctuate from this writer to this writer. Like writer, so again, we're talking about the people who are writing the books, not the Ryder Waite deck, because the Ryder Waite deck has a specific energy that goes along with every card. Now, this has nothing to do with when we're doing intuitive readings, because when you're intuitively reading the card, it is based on what your intuition tells you, based on what you see in that card, and what the book says doesn't matter at all. But on that same token, what the book says doesn't matter at all, even if you're not reading intuitively. Because if the book that you're reading has a completely, widely, very different definition for the 5 of Coins, which is the card that signifies you're in a bad spot, you need help, but you're moving through your bad spot with blinders on and not seeing that there's help all around you, that's what that card signifies. in all the decks. And if the writer who wrote the book didn't want it to mean that, that doesn't change the energy of that card if you're not doing it intuitively. And at the same time, even you should be doing it intuitively as much as humanly possible, because the writers, W-R-I-T-E-R, of all these books, they want it to be what they said. But that's not the way that energy works. It's not the way the universe is going to give you messages. If you intuitively think something else about that card than what is in that book, then you should go with that if you are channeling a message from the divine, because divination is just that. Whether it's oracle cards, tarot cards, pendulum, tea reading, automatic writing, you are channeling a message from the ethers, and you, as the conduit, has to interpret the feelings that come with that message. And you should be giving your intuitive thoughts out there if you're comfortable. And just know, I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm not preaching. I just want people to understand that just because Jane Doe, who wrote this tarot book, and Bobby B, that wrote this tarot book, even though their definitions of the Five of Cups are not exactly the same, that doesn't mean either one's right. It doesn't mean that this book is right and this book is wrong. It could be the case, but that's not what it means. It means the person that wrote the book chose to put their own interpretation of the Five of Cups in there. And I think I said Five of Coins when I was talking about the blinders on, and I was talking about Five of Coins. But if I accidentally said Five of Cups, I apologize, because that is not what the Five of Cups is. The blinders thing that I was talking about, when you need help and you're not seeing help because you're working with the blinders on and there's help all around you, that is the Five of Coins. And I apologize if I misspoke, because again, I am not trying to preach. I just want people to understand that the way these tarot books are written by people just like me and you, they're written by people who are interpreting what they think that card should be, along with what the theme they're going for. If it's like a specific kind of deck, that they have a specific theme in mind, and they're trying to match up with what their artist has on the card. And so there's a whole lot of external interpretations going into your book. So understand that your book is not tarot Bible. It is interpretations, and your interpretations are just as valid. And I think that's my point. So I guess I'm going to end here. Happy Tuesday.